My name is Michael Bowler. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Bridges Training Foundation, as well as the Treasurer and the Director of the Workforce Division. There's several different ways to volunteer. We have relationships with volunteer organizations. We have relationships with corporations that send their volunteers out. But you can always go to our website at www.bridges, B-R-I-D-G-E-S, T as in Tom, F as in Frank.org, and go to the volunteer site and register. Actually, we've got a lot of different things for volunteers to do. We can pair them up with the individuals that we're working with within the programs, our social programs. It's kind of a la carte. You can pick and choose based on what we're doing that month. And we also have opportunities for people to come in as job coaches and work with the individuals actually on the job, helping them be successful. One of the requirements that I like to have is breathing. That's always very helpful. But in all seriousness, an open mind. We want people to have an open mind. We want people to have a willingness to work with the population that we serve. And if you don't work, volunteer doesn't work either. So I'm looking for people that want to do something and not just clock time. After getting to know us a little bit and us getting to know the volunteers that are coming, we will kind of adjust what their volunteer experience looks like based on their comfort level with our individuals. So as hands-on as you can take, but not required. We can find other things if we're still growing into that. Well, all volunteers have to pass a background check with us because you can't interact with our individuals if you've got things on your record. You're never going to be left alone. There'll always be a staff member with you, which a lot of our volunteers appreciate. Now, but you got to remember, a lot of our volunteers will come in thinking that they can't handle this. 10 minutes into it, they're like, I got to do this for the rest of my life. I've always got to volunteer with this population because you fall in love. Our guys are truly capable of unconditional love. And sometimes that's the only place you can get it is here. We have different divisions, so depending on what division you're working with, the staff does different things. Our workforce division, our staff focuses specifically on the relationship with the employer that we're working with, finding the next employer relationship, assessing the customers or the individuals that we're working with to find out what is going to be the right job and not just a job. There's a lot of opportunity to participate in that. We have social programs. Our volunteers on that are not necessarily about hitting milestones, but encouraging the social interactions, developing things for our guys to do that they'll naturally, like Uno. We've got some crazy Uno players. You can come in and play Uno, you're going to lose because they're like really good at it. We've got providership programs where we actually handle some of the state Medicaid waiver so that we make sure that our families are getting all the resources that are available to them, and we have counselors that work with that. Again, there's 100 different ways to plug it in. The best way to become part of the staff actually is to come and volunteer. Get to know us. Make sure that it's the right fit. A lot of times we romanticize what we think a position is going to look like, and we find ourselves in the middle of it and we're like, ooh, I didn't think it was going to be quite like this. So come and volunteer, participate. Make sure it's something you want to do, because we're looking for people that are committed to changing lives. And what does it cost time-wise? What does it cost money-wise to change somebody's life? We make sure that at every possibility, which is over 90% the case, that we don't charge people anything. We make sure that we either fundraise through fundraisers or grants or government contracts or a myriad of different other capital campaigns. to ease the burden on the individuals, because we know that Texas is 50th in the United States of the funds that are set aside for individuals with disabilities, and we're sensitive to that. Well, I've got a donate button on every social media, every website. I promise you, there's a donate button. You can find it any page you go to. So go to our Facebook page. We've just completely redone that. There's no fees that are charged, so all of your donation money actually goes to the foundation. Go to our website. Every page has a donate button on it. Come by. You don't even have to get out of the car. Just throw money out the window. Any way you want to donate will work. 93%, 94% goes in direct support of our individuals. The money that is paid for staff is for that staff to actually provide services directly to our individuals. Our administrative cost is very, very little. Every office space that we pay for actually serves, it's not just an office, it actually serves as a place for our individuals to get support services. That's a great question. There's a lot of organizations out there that if you've got Downs, you go there. If you've got autism, you go there. If you've got spinal bifida, you go there. Bridges says, if you've got a disability or an obstacle, I don't care what it is, you can come here. We're a resource to anyone with a disability or an obstacle for success in their life. I know it's hard. We're here to help. If you can't get help from us, get help somewhere else. No one knows and loves your individual like you do. Keep up the good work. I know it's tough, but hang in there. We're doing all we can to try to provide as much services as we possibly can. The other thing that we believe here is 4% of the world's population has a disability. That's too much to get my head around. With 1 billion people in the world, 4%, that's too much. We at Bridges try to focus on the person that's in front of us. If I can help change one life, then I'm successful. A doctor with a diagnosis doesn't get to decide what your individual's capable of. A school district with the diagnostician that's doing good work doesn't get to decide what your individual can do and is capable of and wants and needs. Even you as a parent don't get to decide. We believe that your individual will succeed at everything they want, given the right environment and assistance and encouragement.